Thanks for stopping on our channel, which is dedicated to central heating. And as you can see, I've been doing this a long time. Whether you install or you have heating, hopefully my videos will make a difference, but please leave me a comment in the section below. Lights, action, camera, let's begin. Winter's on its way. Are you ready for the breakdowns? Our diverter valve in here has been sitting in hot water for the last few months. Installers, you need to understand they seize up, and that's why we are inundated in October and November when people are switching on the heating that the diverter valve is stuck. So what do? Do you repair it? Do you replace it? Do you service it? We go through all the different scenarios to give you the best, the quickest and the most efficient way of solving that problem and showing the customer what they need to do. The other part of fault finding and servicing, of course, is the most important instrument, which is our auto ranging multimeter with hertz and a temperature probe, so we can check the plate-to-plate heat exchanger and the water temperature flow rates. If you aren't brilliant at this, then you need to get in touch with me and I'll show you. I've been doing it for over 45 years and I'll be more than happy to make you brilliant, but it just takes a phone call or an email. Get in touch, pick a date and then book yourself in whilst we are still in the autumn period. To help you along, we've made a book. And in here, I've got flow charts of all the different scenarios: water, no heating, heating, no water, etc., etc. And a lot of these bits of information are directly from the factories, either from boiler manufacturers or controls manufacturers, to help you test the component and what to do. Do we repair it or do we replace it? But the important thing is, there's a book here specially dedicated for breakdown engineers because we haven't got enough of them. We've got well over 20 million boilers and only about 60,000 gas safe registered engineers who can even fix them. So that makes that, a rough guess, somewhere around 200,000 boilers per person per year, which is obviously absolutely impossible to achieve. So all we can do is our best. For example, to do a landlord certificate on each of these boilers or any system costs £100. If somebody offers a customer, so if you're a customer with a boiler and they say, oh, I'll do it for 30, 40, 50, then just say, no, I don't want a half a job, I don't want a quarter of a job. I don't want to be ripped off by some cheapskate, because to do this job correctly, according to their instructions, is going to cost around £100. It's going to take towards 1 hour, if not a little bit more. The trap has to be flushed out, emissions have to be checked, and make sure that all the gas side of it, the pressure, is as it should be, so it's safe and, more importantly, efficient and cheap to run. And that's why we've got a DVD. One part is videos and there's another disc with all the technical manuals. So these are for gas safe engineers to learn at home, just the same as the book. We've also got apps that can be downloaded onto a smartphone, which the apps are only £10, so you can stream that disc straight onto the phone and keep learning. But the important thing is a hands-on course. We've found for the last 18 years or so, that's the best and the quickest way to learn, is to sit here on the table. I'll show you nice and easily and slowly, without any stress or panic stations or watching endless videos of history. I'll show you exactly how to do it, and you practice. And you practice. We've got about 13 different boilers on our walls. You practice all day long. We learn about how to test a pump, how to test a gas valve, a diverter valve, an expansion vessel, how to flush them out, the easiest way, and the most efficient way to do that job. Every installation manual, the end user has to have one of these 10 filled in each year. So the first part is done by the installer of the boiler, and this is compulsory to be filled in by them, their name, address, registration number, what controls are fitted, etc. And then we take over, or the installer takes over. And then each year, this has to be filled in correctly for the insurance, because a lot of boilers will start minimum 2-year guarantee, but most will give 5 or maybe 10. Only a gas safe registered engineer is allowed to fill in this spot. And if you've got a boiler, you need somebody who's been on a course, because then you'll know that that job is going to be done correctly. That means your boiler will be more efficient because we care. A lot of faults we get are actually wiring faults. Either the room thermostat is no longer functioning, not wired up correctly, motorized valves are stuck, and a breakdown engineer needs to know how to test the heating system in a particular sequence. So naturally, on our wiring course, as well as on our fault finding course Wednesday, I'll go through the sequences, what to look out for, how to test the room stat, programmer and valve, and then obviously we'll test the boiler as well. So this is even more important to understand how a multimeter works, because we're living non-stop on electrics. And as you can see, we've got a Drayton rig, a Grundfos 3-zone, Nest, and on this side we've got a Honeywell Residio 3 zones, and that could be made smart as well. So you have to understand this is one of the most difficult parts of central heating systems. Electricians find controls, particularly motorized valves, a challenge because they don't get any courses on them at all. And when we go to a factory, it's all about boiler breakdowns, etc. All the good factories will provide a hands-on wiring controls course. But if you can't get on that, then come here, because I not only do their course, but I'll take you a step higher. So you can fault find any control system on any type of boiler perfectly fault-free, as quickly and efficiently as possible. But you need to practice, because this is a very, very difficult job to do, and you have to be shown. But the important word is, as I said, is practice. Once you understand the principle of a programmable room thermostat, it just has 2 wires, one live and the other wire goes to the brown wire of the zone valve, or if it's a diverter, it'll be white wire. But you need to practice where to put it into the junction box in the right way, because there is a sequence. And if you don't follow that sequence, then you'll hit a brick wall and you'll get it wrong. Engineers who come here on Thursday morning, a lot of them have never wired up, but they were eager to learn. By the time they leave this place at 9 o'clock at night, no, about 4-ish, 4-5 o'clock, they have a much better understanding, but more importantly, more confident. This is doable. This is exactly the same as any artist, whether you're a film actor or work in a circus. You have to be shown first, and then slowly but surely you build up that confidence and you get better and better. So it's not an overnight success. This is a slightly longer learning curve, but doable in the right way, which is why I've written this book with the help of the technical of the factories that we represent here, Nest, Residio, Drayton and Grundfos. So we've got lots of ideas, colour drawings, all the hints and tips, wiring centres that, as you can see here, this Residio one is absolutely brilliant. If you look in the book, we've also got our charts here in full colour. So you can see easily which colour wire goes where. The bit that you learn here is why and how to actually test it. But it's as easy as that. Practice. We've also got this fully wired, and on some of the more important ones, we have a schematic drawing. So for example, we'll show you here, it starts from the programmer, in the room stat, out the room stat to the motorised valve brown, out of the orange to the pump live and the boiler switch live. And you learn this sequence time and time again until you've understood that's how the system works. On top of that, as with fault finding, I've made a DVD, and there's 4 discs in here. Number 1, as always, is going to be videos of me going through wiring these up. Number 2, 3 and 4 are all technical stuff from the manufacturers. So you've got hints and tips, shortcuts. Many drawings here are not available to normal people. They're not on the internet. They are only available on the course. But whilst courses are off, we've got them on the disc. And you can stream this to your smartphone for £10. And this disc is only £10. So it's not a huge amount of money. We're here to make you more confident to solve these problems because they are very, very common. People switch on the stat, nothing works. You have to be trained. So I hope you've enjoyed the videos, and get in touch with us on the website, mrcombi.com. Let's hear from 3 engineers who have done both courses.
Yeah, I would recommend George and Mr. Combi. Well worth the course.
Hi, I'm an engineer for 24/7. After coming to this course, I think my breakdowns are going to be much easier, and using the multimeter, it's just gone really easy now. So yeah, the course is well worth it. And George is great. He charges a lot.
Hey, it's been a great course. Good to be able to expand our knowledge, I suppose, and continue to learn. Even though we may have been engineers for many years, it's good to be able to continue to grow more, learn more, and doing wiring and fault finding is always of benefit. So good course. Well done, George.
What I've made is this rig here, 1 per table, and all the engineers have a go at wiring this up. So we begin with a Honeywell residual 2-channel programmer, Drayton, and a Danfoss. And all of the terminals here, number 4 is central heating on, which this red wire is connected to. And it goes to this Danfoss or Drayton wiring center, which is the one that we like the most. A link from number 9, which is where that goes to, goes across here to 3. And then from 3, it goes into a room thermostat. We turn it up, and then the switched live gets to 230 volts and goes all the way here to terminal 2. We put a link into 4, and then the brown wire from that zone valve moves it across. At the end of the track, the orange wire becomes live, and that's connected to terminal 12, where the boiler switch live is waiting. And that's as easy as it gets. All the zone valves will have a brown wire from the room's thermostat, an orange wire, which is heating on, a grey wire, which is permanent live. And then what you've got here are all the neutrals, and down here you've got 6 earths. This is a lovely rig for everybody to have a go on, just to reinforce the sequence of the wiring, which is crucial to do this job correctly.